What's going on, guys? Mega Gig back with another video, taking a look at the changes that just hit this evening for patch 2.6.1 on the PTR. So I did make a Barbarian Whirlwind build guide, and it went up because of this right here. They said they were locking down the changes now, and basically, long story short, they were pretty much done making big changes. We've now reached the point, where is it? Yeah, we're locking down changes now to smooth out the bug performance issues, as well as fine-tuning other things, this and that. We've now reached that point, so don't expect too many more sweeping changes. They're mainly going to be stress testing, bug crunching, and experimenting as much as possible to catch crazy issues. And many people took that to think that they weren't going to change anything, that everything was going to be kind of set, and they were just going to maybe fix bugs and whatnot. And so I thought I would be safe to go ahead and start making build guides. And this actually went up with the last patch. And here we are on the 28th, and so I thought that much time later, no more changes, no more patches, thought I'd be safe. And literally, I checked the video, or I checked the patch notes right before I made the Whirlwind video, and there were no changes. And then as soon as it went up, somebody commented and said Whirlwind happened to get nerfed, and so there are a few changes to go over real quick. And I'm making this video this evening because I wanted to address that, and anybody that may have seen that video, I did take it down because of the changes. I don't want the wrong numbers to be out there, so I'll remake the video. But probably not right away. You know, I don't know. Things could still change. It's always PTR. So we're going to quickly go over the changes that have been. We're just going to scroll down here on the items. Unfortunately, Skullgrasp even got nerfed. Now 400% is the highest, not 500. Coupled with the nerfs to the actual build itself, this is pretty significant. I really think they could have left Skullgrasp alone. Because Whirlwind on the PTR, it did have one guy that ran 118, but I imagine he probably fished the heck out of that rift. And then he also had like 5,000 Paragon levels. So yeah, I don't know that the build really needed to be nerfed. Obviously, I'm a little upset about it because it's my favorite build. But that being said, I really don't think Skullgrasp itself needed to be nerfed. But there it is. Skullgrasp was nerfed. We're going to scroll down, and I think this was in their last patch. The damage of Impale is increased. I'm pretty sure that was there. For Demon Hunter still, Wraps of Clarity are now 40 to 50% for 5 seconds. Spirit Guards, I don't think this was in the last patch. I believe this is a new change. It's 45 to 60% now for 3 seconds. So that's kind of a welcome change. Scrolling down some more, Witch Doctor got nerfed a couple different areas. The Grand Vizier got nerfed 3 to 400% instead of 375 to 500. This is actually Wizard, not Witch Doctor, but as we're passing through. And here we go. So none of the other Barb stuff has changed. Immortal Kings is left alone. Might of the Earth, Raycor is left alone. But Wrath of the Waste was slightly nerfed from 3,400% to 3,000. So it's still up quite a bit from the 1,700. And that's not huge. That's not game breaking. But coupled with the extra 100% from the Skullgrasp, it's a pretty big deal. So I really don't think Wrath of the Waste was that far ahead of these other builds. Mine was only about 5 levels ahead, but then mine's all tuned and has augments on almost every piece. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't got to test around with it yet, but we will see. But that's unfortunately been nerfed. Crusader Armor of Akan, I can't remember. Some of these changes I don't remember. I know I went over them, but I don't remember if they changed or not this time again. You can see him there. Shadow's Mantle is now 50,000, which is really high. Monk, the Monkey King's Guard. This was a buff that, yeah, this was a definite buff that is kind of welcome, because I was talking about Tempest Rush a couple weeks ago at 600%. It's pretty massive, but something about the build still felt weak. I didn't try it with a Lashing Tail Kick build, but I did do Tempest Rush and Wave of Light, and 1000% is pretty nice. That's a pretty nice buff for each stack of Sweeping Wind that you have. And then Necromancer was left alone. Here we go, Witch Doctor. The Helltooth 6-piece set was pretty significantly brought down from 5100% all the way to 3700%, so that's a pretty significant nerf there. And Jade Harvester was left alone, but the Spirit of the Arakir was also brought down 4500% to 3900%. So it's going to be kind of close now to see which is better, Helltooth or Arakir. They kind of have their own different modifiers, so comparing them direct numbers to direct numbers is kind of like apples to oranges. It's not really, we'll have to see which one pushes further basically in game. Wizard was also nerfed slightly in a couple areas. The Opus set 4100% to 3800%. Firebird's Finery 250 to 200. So it looks like a lot of little nerfs here and there, a couple of buffs. I guess maybe they were kind of sad that the leaderboards were getting too high. They don't want people running away with it this season, I guess. I don't know. But Veer's Amazing Arcana was actually buffed to 50%. And I think that is it. A couple of new issues. Fixed an issue where you would not gain the buff from Crystal Fist when you had the buff of Channeling Pylon and Raiment of 1,000 Storms equipped, and fixed an issue with Etched Sigil where the internal cooldown for casting another spender was scaling with the item's damage roll. So a couple of changes here and there, no real bug fixes since the last patch. So yeah, I do apologize for the video that went up. Those of you that saw the Wrath of the Wastes build guide, the build wasn't wrong. The build actually didn't change. Everything's still going to be basically the same. But I didn't want to leave it up because the numbers would be wrong. People, you know, checking it in a few weeks or when it went live, people would be wondering why the numbers here and Skullgrass were off. So yeah, I'll remake that video. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and discuss this overnight, mainly because that wrong video went up, or that video went up right after they made the changes. Let's see, did it even say what time it went up? I think it does. Yeah, it went up at 3:30, and I actually don't have the video anymore. I can't check, but I made it around like 2:30 or something like that. So yeah, or 3 o'clock, I don't know. So yeah, so they got me. Blizzard got me good. But yeah, that is the changes. If you guys are familiar with Wolfcrier, his channel, he made a video talking about how he thinks that Diablo might go into maintenance mode after this, which basically means they won't be doing any more major updates. It'll just kind of be rolling over seasons and things like that. And I think I mentioned something similar to that in my last video talking about these, and the fact that they're bringing some of these things back down and kind of really balancing them and not really having people run away with the leaderboards. I don't know, it kind of points to that they're really trying to work and fine-tune and get these things where everybody can be very competitive with a plethora of different builds. So so it could very well be, that could mean that Diablo 3 is winding down, and they are maybe planning something with Diablo 4 in the next year or so. I don't know. It's totally speculation. But yeah, I've kind of had that thought as well. So so yeah, let me know what you guys think about these changes. Obviously, we're not going to be that excited about the Whirlwind changes. The Skullgrass, this one really gets me. Yeah, that one really gets me. The Set nerf really wasn't that big of a deal, but this really gets me. Even though it's a bigger number, since this is a separate multiplier. But yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like the video. If you like the video, leave a comment and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks, guys, for watching. More good stuff to come. Take care.